So now we're going to go over
I wasn't looking at my Post-it, okay? So
now we're going to go over the new homework.
Tico, who is out there in Wonderland, you're going to please tell Chloe anything that I just didn't record right now about, yeah, because she had an issue, so she's not joining us, but she said she could get information.
Yeah, she texted me. I'll text you everything.
And
okay.
Is Jacob here? I didn't see him.
Yes, he has a mask on.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so let's go back over it again. She's got this because I missed on that little bit. 2 illustrations, jacket only that we're rendering, not rendering the top or the shape. We're going to lightly draw in the shape of what our bottom is. We're going to illustrate our muse face. We're going to use the ones that we picked today in the lab. If you have to readjust things, you're going to like just pick one from your readjusted thing and put that on there. If you change things altogether, you're going to pick that face and put it on there. We'll talk about that in our crit next week.
Now, Aaron, I want them also to put the swatches labeled on the illustration.
Yes, I was getting to that too.
All right.
Okay, so for illustrations, this is the way the seniors have to do it. This is the way that Jill likes to see it. She likes to see your figure, the flats. She likes the fabrics and them labeled on it. And then she likes to see whatever the inspiration page, being your page, that your mood page, that kind of miniaturized a bit and stuck on there so that she can see that it relates to your person and your colors and whatever. Okay, so those things all kind of need to be on there on each one of them. We're not printing them out right now so we can use spaces we need to. So those are the things that have to go on there. But and you need to make it, and I told this to somebody else, you need to make it like you were sending this away to a faraway place where they were going to get it before you and they were going to have questions about it. So they want to be able to read this as simply and as organized as possible. Okay.
Correct.
That's
what's going to, because that's what's going to happen ultimately. And she's not going to want to, Amy's not going to want to keep switching back to see the mood page, keep switching back to see the fabric. She's going to want to see everything on each page. And since it's digital, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, thank God. Because ordinarily we have to do this with all physical stuff. So you guys got a little bit easier.
I do want physical swatches because we have to know that you can get these fabrics. So I've still got a couple of virtual things happening.
Yeah.
So we need to get the physical things, because the other thing is I had a question for a student, because virtually it was called a poplin, but it could really be a shirting fabric and not something you make a jacket out of. Right. So that's why you want to have it in person, because you want to be able to put that together and hold it up to your denim, your canvas, your twill, whatever, and say, is this about the same weight? So make a jacket that's all the same weight as a whole garment versus one that it's going to collapse because one part's too heavy and the other part's too light. Okay. All right. So then we've got 5 jacket flats that are your croquis. Those are your new designs. Those are the new things that we haven't seen yet. That's going to be your classwork for next week that Tony and I need to go over to pick new things for you then to illustrate and show us in lab. Okay. Then we're going to fix our fabric stories, and we're going to either add to it or we're going to edit it. We're going to change some colors, you know, make things match our mood page more, get things that we're missing, anything that has to make that improve, but we don't necessarily need to see, you know, umpteen million fabrics. We just need to start kind of whittling them down or putting things to them that complete them, okay? We're gonna fix our mood page. We're gonna add the future 2021 element to it, or we're gonna edit some things out. If there were too many things and it was too confusing and it didn't tell us the story about this person and it didn't tell us anything about 2061, we're gonna get rid of that, okay? We're gonna have 10 swipe of more jackets, because just in case whatever the 5 jacket flats are need some improvement or need something more to them, we want to be able to look at some swipe and say, hey, put this sleeve on that jacket, put this pocket on that design. We need some sort of more images for that, okay? Then we want 5 swipe of jacket treatment ideas. And this is primarily in the form of stitching things and different kinds of pockets, construction orientated things, not necessarily three-dimensional surfacey types of things, okay? These are things that are gonna make our jackets look more complete and more like real garments, because you're gonna eventually create these samples in studio. We're gonna do an integration thing where we pick the pocket, the stitching thing, the whatever it happens to be. Like she said, if you like Spanish embroidery and you thought that was great, you know, you're gonna do a sample of this kind of thing for her so that she can see it. Okay, that's why Tony asked you to get some fabric and to get some heavy duty thread so that you can do this stuff. Okay, no
Right.
samples or
Studs or rings or whatever you're doing
any
specifically.
of that stuff.
Start to order it now. I'll tell you one thing about starting to, if you're somebody who has a lot of basic fabrics and you're just going to try and start by ordering them online, because I know Jacob went out to Mood and they didn't have a whole lot of stuff he needed, but I'm asking everybody to start ordering some of this stuff online. And I got a real good example of that in Seniors, because it was this fabric that looked amazing in the swatch, and she ordered some and it came in and it was like thick as a board. So she's telling me, yeah, I don't want to use that, because she actually felt it. So that's a good thing to do now, to see what the actual fabrics are.
So there's no samples required to do yet, but I would start getting whatever the components are to get that working as soon as possible, so there's no hiccups with that and no delays, and you're able to do it with the guidance of your studio teachers, because that's not going to happen too often and you want to take advantage of it. These swipe into, okay, but try and incorporate the stuff that you're thinking about doing into your new design. So if you've got stud work, if you've got certain kinds of pockets, if you've got, like, you know, stitching things that you're doing, embroidery things, try to incorporate that into your new design so we can see where you're going to place that and how much of it you're going to use, that sort of thing. Okay. Lab. Now again, lab is not required. Lab is for those who want to get ahead of the game. But what we'd like to see is, on a figure, draw your jackets in detail and give us a line drawing of what bottom you're thinking about doing with it. Maybe even put the swipe on there so that we can see that it looks like that. Definitely put the swipe on there and the flat for the jacket that you've drawn on the figure. And include your naked figure, just in case, you know, there's so much drawing on there that, you know, Tony and I can't see through it with the tracing paper. We can start again on something and give you a clearer drawing, okay? Because, you know, I know Tony's a little bit more freeform with his line quality.
Because
so
I'm rusty. Right, because I'm rusty.
Yeah. Okay. And if there are any other things that are like really dire to you that are going to, you know, really change your life before a Monday, like a mood page that, you know, you really, really are angsting about, or a fabric that you think may not work, give that to us. Those are minor things that we can look at. Otherwise, if it's something that we should save for a discussion next Monday, then let's save it for a discussion then, because it does take time for Tony and I to draw over these things for you guys. Okay. All right, so that is my homework. That is my presentation of homework. Are there any questions that people have?
Can I make a few comments and things for the
Please. You're being recorded.
Yeah. On illustration homework, I know that most of you guys are saving the right place, but still, you know, a couple of students is not placing the homework in the right place. I know that Tico has some technical issue that she saved the homework, but somehow it was not in the right place. But you guys need to save the illustration homework in my folder. It's the same, Tony, Aaron, and there's a Leah folder. So save the illustration. From this week, it's gonna be simpler. So 2 illustration or 3 illustration, whatever the illustrations, resave them in the illustration folder. Leah's folder, it's week number 3, week number 4, so save in there too, please. And also you need to save the illustrations in the design folder as well, okay? And then also, if I make any correction, I'm gonna re-upload in the your illustration folder, so you can check it maybe tomorrow or sometime, so you can see that. Mostly I'm gonna make a drawing correction for the shape idea, and then when your fabric's finalized, the colors finalized, I may do like a little, you know, the spot rendering fix, so you can see that. And another thing is, when we do the demo, we do the same demo twice a day. It's usually right after the, you know, the credit is over, like 10:40 or whatever. We'll start the one session, and then the other one is right after lunch. Either way, you can, you know, be on the demo. There's no way that you miss both of them. So at least you have to be on one demo. Okay. So that's your duty to do it. It's part of the illustration lesson. So you have to be in one of the demo, okay? And any other questions so far?
Well, Leah, I had told Jeremiah that I think forward figure works
Yes.
best for design work for the details. So I think he has a 3/4 one now. So either Jeremiah, you're going to give that to Leah and she can correct that for you, or you're going to show me it on Thursday and I'll have to try to correct it for you.
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought that up because I'm finding something that could be really helpful to all of you because, and this is for you, Leah, too, is because a lot of you have kind of a straightforward figure and you guys are getting so good at digital flats that this whole thing of like the garment on the figure not matching the flat can be easily resolved if you just lay your beautiful flat on top of the figure. Maybe you adjust the arm a little bit. But then you won't have to worry about like the arm looks different or the sleeve shape looks different, that type of thing. It won't work for everything, but it definitely will work for some people that I've seen today.
And I
That's
think,
helpful.
yeah, and I think too, when Tony or I draw in the shape of the bottom and I put like a swipe and stuff on there for you, don't abandon it and go someplace else and then it doesn't work. You know, don't go to a small skirt when we want you to put a high-waisted cropped big pant on there. Okay, you're going to eventually design that anyway, but we're trying to give you a good variety of things and we kind of keep track of that sort of thing. So if it goes somewhere else, then we just have to start all over again. I want to try, especially from this week forward, to be able to not throw away that illustration, but to be able to just render now the next piece that goes with it when we get to that point.
Exactly. Always building, moving forward.
Yeah, and then also save all the correction of me, you know, Tony and Aaron's work, you know, any doodling and everything because you guys may need it. And also maybe most of you are finalized with your face. Think about the accessory like the right shoes or, you know, the glasses or, you know, the hat or anything because some of you have barefoot. And also think about the format. That's a part of your illustration homework. Right format, right size of a flat, and, you know, right size of the paper. You know, don't just squeeze in everything in the one small page of it, okay? So make a good presentation for next week. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we want to be as organized as possible if Jill does join us again, but it helps Tony and I to be able to get through these crits to make sure they go faster. If we're not constantly searching for things in all kinds of folders and we're not searching all around your desktop for things, and if you're ready when Tony makes a list of people, that's just going to make it go faster and we can spend more time with you, because I'd rather spend more time with you individually than spend a ton of time on a crit that, you know, some of you might be zoning out on that early in the morning, that you'll get more out of the one-on-one. Okay, so let's be organized.
We're getting there. Very slowly but surely we're getting there. Okay.